The 7731 is a point-to-point and point-to-multi-point bridge. Now, the difference between a bridge and an access point is a bridge is not designed to accept client connections. They're designed to connect to one another. So if you need to connect multiple buildings, this really is a great product. The 7731 has a really neat antenna, plus some neat features on the outside. So let's take a look at that first. Inside the 7731, we see the dual polarized antenna sitting right down here. Now, this dual polarity gives you twice the throughput of what you would normally expect from a set of bridges. So this is highly directional, has about a 30-degree beam width from this antenna. Now, out of the box, we say it'll do about 8 miles at about 60 megabits per second. If you need to go farther and faster, if you want to go 10, 20 miles, you can do that by putting a set of external antennas on it. Those would go right here. Just keep in mind you need dual polarity antennas, so one polarization for each lobe here. On the back side, we have an aiming button. You press and hold this blue button. These light up and tell you how much signal strength you have, so you can move it and get the signal locked in just right before you move on. Once you get the signal you like, you push the button again and the bridge is active. On the back side here, you see a typical RJ45 for both PoE and data in, and if you choose, you can also use a 12-volt power in, so if you have solar as an example, you can do that right from there. The 7731 is good as both a point-to-point or a point-to-multi-point set of bridges. If you want to connect two buildings, pretty simple, you just can point the two at each other and then they're automatically linked. In point-to-multi-point mode, you configure them where you have multiple devices pointed back to this one. Now keep in mind this antenna is 30 degrees by default, so you'll have to have buildings that are within 30 degrees of your main building, or you can go with some external antennas. Now the external antennas can either increase your speed and distance. So the maximum speed is about 180 megabits per second of true throughput. If you want to get that beyond, say, a mile, you want to go farther and faster, then a good set of external antennas will do that for you. The 7731 is a phenomenal value and much less expensive than fiber or copper that you would get between two buildings. This gives you the speed, reliability, and a lot of times redundancy of connections for a very low cost.